Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start dropping. He's not on second and change.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tuesday nights. It's MX5 UkSimracers Season 2 2024, Round 8 for the summer season, live from the Brands Hatch GP circuit. I'm James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Tom Cairns, who's been here for the whole of the season and will be here for the rest of it as well. So we can get a look to listen to the sultry tones of Mr. Tom Cairns alongside me there as well. Brands Hatch itself, 2.433 miles, 3.916 kilometres in length. It holds corners such as Paddock Hill, the famous Druids, Graham Hill, Surtees, Hawthorne Bend, down through Dingle Dale and Sheens, and then along Cleanways down to Clark Curve. And I think you can safely say it is an iconic circuit. Question is on many people's lips, should it be used for F1? Well, that's a debate I'm sure we can have at some point and get it away from Silverstone, which some people are getting quite bored of, as I've heard recent rumours of that one. Let's bring you up to championship standings as they stand right now. So in the pros situation, well, this is the pros situation, as he hopefully says that and everything works correctly, which it really doesn't want to work correctly, so that's nice. Let's try that one again, shall we? At any point can I get the standings, Mr. Timing Software? Apparently I can't. Oh, well, for some reason the timing standings are not coming up. Let's try again here. There we go. Dan Hunt is out in front in the pro situation on 1,088 points, with Jamie Ayres in second on 910 and Steve Efford in third on 900. Then you've got Jamie Wilson on 825, PVG on 783, then Ralph Cullen and Pete Newman, Martin Sampson, Tom Griffiths, and Dries Nees rounding out the top 10, the last of the point scorers. In the AMs, it is Ollie Ricks out in front on 801 and Roger Morton on 762. Then Darren McLean in third on 681. And Charles Kellerman in fourth. Then Darrell Wright, Colin Sanson, Fiona Siddons, Andy Littler, Steve Hansford, Alan Toon and Mick Barry are the last of the point scorers. Now, what has that done to the overall standings? Well, Dan Hunt is out in front on 2605, sorry, I should say. Jamie Ayres in second, not quite sure where the numbers are gone. Pete Van Gaal in third, with Jamie Wilson in fourth. Then Tom Griffiths, Ralph Cullen and Pete Newman, Steve Efford and Charles Kellerman. Then you've got Colin Sampson rounding out the top 10 with Darrell Wright, Martin Sampson, Fiona Siddons, Andy Littler, Darren McLean, Alan Toon, Miles Owens and Steve Hansford in the bottom end. Moving on, it's Alan Toon, Steve Hansford, Ollie Ricks, Roger Morton, Mick Barry, John Sylvester, Ewan Bramer. Then Callum McPherson, Arnold Chonier, Craig Jones, Dan Dennison, Dan Lewis and Dries Nees. That is the last of the standings. We have just gone in to qualifying. It is the standard 15 minutes of qualifying. I can tell you now it's a top 12 reverse for race 2, so we'll keep an eye out on that one. Complete roundup for race 3 as always, and we'll bring you race 4's reverse grid when we join into the session a little bit later on. But you've listened to me ramble on. Let's bring Tom into the booth. Tom, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Thank you very much, James. Hello to everyone, and thank you for joining us for the latest chapter in this UK SimRacers series. In the summer campaign, round 8 of it, we are at the Brands Hatch circuit in the county of Kent. in the United Kingdom. It's a brilliant racetrack. And answering your question about should it be hosting Formula One again, I would love it to, but I don't see it. And the reason why it can't is, well, for a simple reason, it doesn't have the correct FIA grade license for it. It's an FIA grade 2 circuit. It would need to be FIA grade 1 to host Formula 1. Nevertheless, it is the home of British Touring Cars. It has hosted 3 races this year. It will host another 3 at the season's end in October. And you have to say, there's no place like other being at Brands Hatch. It is a wonderful circuit. It's hosted some brilliant races across superbikes, British Touring Cars, A1GP, of course, we can't forget that, and of course Formula 1. Back in the 80s and 70s, when it used to alternate the British Grand Prix with Silverstone, there was even a couple of years where it was able to be on the same calendar as Silverstone as host the European Grand Prix, James. One in particular where Nigel Mansell took his first Grand Prix win at this track in 1985. So a lot of brilliant memories at Brands Hatch. Some may refer it as, you know, a former Grand Prix circuit back in those days, although that was before my time. How do you rate the circuit then? Is it a joyful one for you?
I like Brands Hatch. I think it's a great circuit to go racing on, and I think that, to be honest, I think it's got to the point where people have had enough of Silverstone. It's got to the point where people are just like, Silverstone again. You know what I mean? We need to mix it up a bit. We need to give it to brands. I mean, obviously, the likes of the tracks of Croft and Knockhill and Thruxton and stuff like that, you're not going to see them on. But, you know, Brands is one of them circuits that I feel could host it. You know, if the license is an issue, then look at how you go and get it, right? Because at the end of the day, I think it needs it. I don't think sitting back watching the cars go around Silverstone over and over and over and over and over and over again for years, as we had done, it just gets boring. And I'd love to see him here. I'd love to see him go racing through Dingledale. Love to see him coming out the other side. You know, whether or not the cars can handle going through Dingledale and up through the hill, who knows? But at the end of the day, it definitely should be. It needs more than what it gets. Don't get me wrong, the touring cars go there twice. They race on the Grand Prix circuit once, and then they go on the IndyCar layout, which is great because you can see the whole circuit if it's on the IndyCar layout, you know. And I think at the end of the day, it's definitely needed that the Formula One does go somewhere else. But as you say, if it can't handle the Formula One, I think then obviously they need to look at redoing it in a way that it can, because I think it needs a change. It you know, and it needs to come away from that situation. And let's be real about it. You know, I looked at tickets this year and it was crazy, absolutely insane prices to go there for the weekend. And you know, it was like £700. It was going to almost cost me $3,500 to take a family of 5 to the Grand Prix weekend. You know, that's just ridiculous amounts of money to go and watch cars go around, where I spent 72 quid taking 5 of us to Thruxton to watch the touring car, and they were a lot more entertaining at times. So yeah, it's turning out more of a cash grab than providing something of entertainment.
Yeah, and I think it's also the fact that, you know, getting close to the F1 drivers, and the way I look at it now is it's a product. Formula One is essentially a product where you've got drivers there where they bring in the funds to obviously the teams, and the teams obviously generate revenue. Formula One generates revenue from the sponsors that are there, that obviously pay to have their names on the advertising hoardings, and they get something back as part of a piece of the pie of what Formula One gets, essentially, through revenue. And that's obviously how Formula One makes a business to this day. And yeah, I'd love to see brands coming back, but if you look at the competitiveness in who brings in the money as well, James, you know, it's a money thing. And even if Brands Hatch would say, yeah, we've got the money to do 2 or 3 years, but can't guarantee the future after that, Formula 1 is not going to be interested in it. They want long-term deals. It's 10-year deals that they want, and that's why Silverstone's still there. They were able to find the funding from wherever they got it from. I don't think the government gets involved in that. The government does not fund the British Grand Prix like a lot of other countries do. But they were able, with the business plan that Silverstone have got, they're able to find the funds from wherever they got it from, through particular sponsors, through what the British Racing Drivers Club have been able to do, because they own Silverstone. They're essentially for the next 10 years, including this year, of course, they were able to get that 10-year deal sorted out. Although actually the 10-year deal begins next year. I think 2024 was the last year on the previous contracts it has done. So it's safe to say that the British Grand Prix is going to remain at Silverstone for the foreseeable future, I'm afraid. But we can't take anything away from Brands Hatch. It's a brilliant racetrack for any series that comes here. And but yeah, like I say, there's a lot of circuits on the calendar at the moment that are trying to get onto it in the near future, i.e. Turkey, Indonesia, Thailand, South Korea as well. And goodness knows we could end up having another venue over in Saudi Arabia in Qadiyah. There's loads of potential new venues, so I think Brands Hatch is going to find it very, very, very tough to go up against that, and money is what someone really wants right now.
Yeah, it's, when you're charging a fortune to get in, you're charging, I went up there just for an event that we were at with my boy. I took my boy up there. It wasn't anything major. It was just an event that they had on. I think it was the 750 Auto Club or something, and it literally cost me 25 quid for 2 sandwiches, 2 packs of crisps and a drink. And you just sit back and you think you've got to make it kind of accessible to people. I don't know who the hell is going out paying £3,500 for a family of 5 to go to Formula 1. I think it's just unbelievably ridiculous that they'd want to do that. But I suppose they've got to charge that when you're paying. Teams are paying drivers a fortune, and Silverstone are paying a fortune. It's just, it really is out of hand. It was more dangerous back in the 60s and 70s, and they got paid a hell of a lot less than these people today. And back then they had a steering wheel and a gear stick. Now they've got a steering wheel, 25 different buttons that do multiple different things. And is it really driving when the team in the pits can control the engine? I don't know. I'm sure that's a debate for another day, but let's get in to the qualifying situation at the moment. Dan Hunt on a 1:37.997, sitting on pole at the moment. Ralph Cullinan doing a great job in second place. He took his first win, if I'm not mistaken, last time out of Spa in race 4, did the Irishman, so great job from him. Sitting in second, building up on his form, should we say, from round 4 last week.
Yeah, so in fact it was Ollie Ricks that won the race overall, but Ralph Cullinan won the pro class. Yeah. So it was a very rare sight to see an AM driver win out. So at the 28th time of asking in the summer season of UK SimRacers, an AM driver won for the first time this season. And who would have thought of that? Good to see Ollie Ricks in good form as well. Him and Roger Morton fighting it out in the AM Championship as well. Dan Hunt with a convincing lead as far as we know in the pro title battle, but that could all change on what we see this evening. Dan Hunt fastest in this qualifying session with Ralph Cullinan alongside him at the present moment. It is all provisional, but with the tyres going off for these drivers, the first lap times tend to be the best ones we are going to be seeing. So don't be at all surprised to see this remaining unchanged. We've got 12 drivers who have posted lap times so far. I think 3 have still yet to get time on the board. Darrell Wright, Colin Sanson and Ollie Ricks. I think Darrell Wright had a moment whilst on his first lap out of the pits, and he's not going to be setting in time in this session.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I don't think starting at the back is too big of an issue here. A lot can happen at Brands, and I think probably starting at the back could be remotely erring on the side of caution, and might not be a bad thing for some of these guys, because I think they would basically benefit from being where they are. Ollie Ricks and Colin Sanson are both there, of course, and at the end of the day they're battling it out in the AM Championship with these guys. So let's see how they get on and whether or not they can get a time on the board. Darryl writes in YouTube chat saying whoops. So I'm guessing Darryl's qualifying ended very, very early on. Probably round about here I may have something to believe on this one for Darryl, right? Yep, off the side of the circuit, into the barrier, ba-dum. And that is the end of Darryl Wright's qualifying, because he cannot go back and get another car. So unfortunately for Darryl Wright, as well, Colin Sanson does a great drift going down into Pilgrim's Rise there. So unfortunately for him, it's not going to be a good one. Darren McLean, 139.260. He's on his way down into Westfield, the right-hander here. So good job from Darryl. On the board at the moment, he is, as he's going to go over the line for Ollie Ricks. What did he do? Did he get a time on the board?
No, I think it was an invalid one. It's an invalid one that he posted. So I think he's going to be out of time, James, because he crossed over the line with about 1 minute 35 to go. So he might just miss the cut the next time he goes round the Brabham Straight.
Well, we're going to find out here. Ollie Ricks has got about 1 minute 10 to get round the rest of the race circuits. And he's, let's see how he gets on. He's going around the left-hander of Surtees before he heads down Pilgrim's Drop, of course, here as well. Let's give you a rough idea of what Ollie Ricks is looking at. He has got purple in that opening section. He's going to go down under the bridge, of course, round the right-hander of Hawthorne. He's going to dab it and then just get it changed, and away he goes again. Down the Derek Minter Straight, which is a short straight, before he goes left, excuse me, down through Westfield, over the curb he's going. Got to be a little bit careful. Now he's coming down through Dingle Down, and you've got the right-hander at the top of the hill of Sheens. This is another place he's got to be careful. Taking too much there will invalidate your lap. He's got 20 seconds to the left-hander of Sterling's. Get it in the dip. There is a dip there. Use the curb. Now he's got 15 seconds. This could be on the line for Ollie Ricks if he can get it round Clark as quickly as possible. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I think he's going to miss out by about 50 metres. I think he is. He is. Oh, no. Oh, so close for Ollie Ricks there, Tom.
Yeah.
He was
we'll never know what that...
50 metres
we'll
away.
Never know. Yeah, we'll never know what that time would have been, but I don't think he'll be put off by that team march. He can focus on a good start to the race and make his way through the field. And, get his championship back on track once more, because he didn't have it all his own way last week, did he? Because he was involved in a couple of collisions. In regards to the grid, Dan Hunt is on pole with Ralph Cullen alongside Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres next to each other, with Jamie Wilson, Pete Gondel in 5th and 6th. Charles Cullinan, fast as well as in Am in 7th place alongside Roger Morton. There's Darren McLean, Fiona Siddons, Steve Hansford, Sir Alan Toon, Colin Sanson, Dylan Wright, and Ollie Ricks did not set times. James, over to you for race 1. I think we're about to get underway.
Yeah, we are. We're just waiting for the last of them. They have all joined up now. The lights are going to be coming on here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats, because round 8 of Brands Hatch is green. And Dan Hunt has got the whole shot there. Steve Hefford is alongside Ralph Cullinan as they're going down into Paddock Hill, the right-hander. Steve, is he going to be able to make it through? He's not. Cullinan sweeps around the outside. He carries more speed up into Druids. We go. Cullinan takes the inside line. Hefford, if he's going to run him around the outside, he's going to have it for the inside down the hill into Graham Hill. So Cullinan's got a decision. Does he squeeze him? He doesn't. He stays alongside, and Cullinan takes a big old off track on the left-hand side. Now they're 2 banks of 2 as well, and down the left-hander now of Surtees. And at the moment, everybody's got away cleanly, but it is Dan Hunt, Steve Hefford, Ralph Cullinan, and Jamie Ayres, with Jamie Wilson your top 5.
Yeah, Dan Hunt could have had a better start than what he had there. He's already pulling clear of the rest here in a battle of the round, going through Pilgrim's Drop. And it's hard to see through the trees, actually, so we'll have a look to see how they get on through Hawthorns. Hefford maintaining 2nd place there, ahead of Ralph Cullen, and it's Jamie Ayres in 4th position, with Jamie Wilson and Pete Van Gogh just holding back for the time being. Charles Cullinan remaining in P7 ahead of all the other AM drivers, And like you say, it's a very, very clean start to this first race, unlike what we had last week at Spa.
Yeah, it was a little bit chaotic at Spa. Colin Sanson goes off the side of the circuit in the background. Dan Hunt leading away. Hefford, Cullinan, Ayres, Wilson, Van Gaal. Then you've got Charles Kellerman, who's tucked in 7th. He's leading the AMs at the moment. Roger Morton is behind him for that Pure Sims results, boys. But Ralph Cullinan, unfortunately, looking like he might lose another position. Jamie Wilson giving Jamie Ayres all the push he needs to clear Ralph Cullinan. Coming down into Paddock Hill once more for lap number 2. 13 minutes on the clock. Wilson dives to the inside. Cullinan's on the outside. He's stuck offline at the moment. Is Cullinan. He needs to slot back in behind him as much as possible. Don't run it too wide. Van Gaal's going to get out the inside of you here. He's got to be a little bit careful for Ralph Cullinan. He's just been pushed out here off the racing line, and now he's struggling to get back in. Wilson's going to play nice with him there, to be fair. He could have been a lot more harsher as Jamie Ayres takes a wide line off the side of the circuit.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see too much of that from Steve Hefford throughout the race, actually. I wonder if Chuck Limits will catch up with him in a bit. But we're looking at Cullinan and Wilson still dicing it out. Van Gaal looking to get involved in this and take advantage. Can he get into the draft of Cullinan on Pilgrim's Drop and make a move into Hawthorns? He's through ahead of Wilson, but he's not quite alongside to make an overtake. It's probably too risky to do it here, given the inside curve which can catch you out. There's not enough room really to get both cars through at the same time. So Van Gaal sensibly remaining behind the Irishman, Ralph Cullinan, and he's just going to wait for another opportunity to happen here.
Yeah, he's going to have to now as well. Coming into the left-hander of Sterling's, Cullinan and Van Gaal. Ayres, Hefford in front. Hunt is on his bike away. In the splits, it's Kellerman leading away, but he has got Morton tucked up right behind him here. McLean's a little bit further back. All the arms are quite close together. The Siddons is just dropping off to the back end of that. Needs to get hold of Sanson if she can, of course, to try and get round into the draft and stay in a little bit of contact with him. The draft isn't overly strong, but it's going to be strong enough down the Pilgrim's Drop that they are going to be able to use each other to pull each other forward. So you really want to kind of stay into that as best you can. Through Druids again for lap 3, down to the left-hander of Graham Hill as well. Dan Hunt 2.8 seconds out in front, Tom. Can anybody catch him?
Well, it depends how much of these tyres he's taken out of in the opening stages here. Hopefully he's not taken too much out of them. He's 3 seconds clear of the rest of the field, but he just needs to just slow it down a little bit if he can, because he won't want to take too much out of those tyres as he makes his way through Hawthorns again for the 3rd time in this race. For your information, folks, the reverse grid for race number 2 is going to be the top 12. So at the moment, the top 6 will be starting 7th to 12th. The next 6 behind them will be 1st to 6th on the grid. At the moment, Darrell Wright's just been overtaken by Colin Sanson, and now Fiona Siddons is at the moment on the reverse grid pole. This is going to change in due course as Siddons holds 6th place there ahead of Darrell Wright, who's not had a very good 3rd lap.
No, Sanson's just gone under the inside of Ollie Ricks as well. Ricks has obviously clearly made a mistake. He's got a better run out now. He's ahead of Sanson. Under the Van Bridge they go into Clark, the right-hander, and it is Ollie Ricks with Colin Sanson, who's run a little bit wide. He's on the grass. Can he get it back in? He can. Siddons didn't capitalise on it, too far back. PVG maybe not too far back away from Wilson. Wilson's going to have the inside line up into Druids now. It's Van Gaal, it's Wilson, and it's going to be Wilson's going to get that position away. Kellerman and Morton side by side. Slight. Oh, no. The slightest little bit of contact. Morton has slowed down to allow Kellerman to go through. He is at the bottom of your screen. The 92 Pure Sims result, boy. Fair play, Mr. Morton. But is he going to be able to hold that position from Wright? Wright doesn't know what's gone on, of course. He might do, because I think they're in the same Discord. And now they're racing along here. And, well, to be fair, did Morton have to let Kellerman back through, do we think, on that one, Tom? Or where do we think the blame comes from?
Well, Morton went way wide there, and Kellerman had to take a bit of evasive action. He's got his nose alongside there. Morton should have really seen that. He knew that he wasn't going to get him back because there's just not enough room on the outside at that present moment, and I have to put the blame on Morton there, but at least he's given the position back, but both of them are further down to where they were. Darren McLean, now the new AM leader, as he is over a second clear of Ollie Ricks, has done well from starting at the back.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Ollie's got moved his way up now. He's sitting in second overall. He's up 7 places. The man is doing. He's having an exceptional season as Ollie. So fair play to him. Wilson now's got Cullinan. They've dropped Van Gaal, which I'm quite surprised about. Ayres is being climbed all over. Wilson in the second half of this race, he is looking mighty at this moment in time. Is Wilson? He's going to have a go at Cullinan. Into Druids he goes. The right-hander not being able to get it done this time. They're going to dab up through the gears into second. Down they go. They're going to hold it. Well, he did touch third actually. I thought he might have done. He touched third and come down into second again. Now he's got that second run up the left-hander of Surtees now as well. Wilson, Team Chimera, Cullinan results Cloven. Ayres Momo, Hepford Momo. It's a 4-car fight here, Tom. Who's going to be able to get this, do we think?
Well, all of this is played into Dan Hunt's hands. He's now 5 seconds clear. I'm looking at the timing graphic there, or is it 4 seconds? I'm trying to see. But Hefford is doing well to maintain second place here. But Ayres, Cullinan and Wilson really do fancy their chances here. Pete Van Gaal is just happy to sit back and watch all this develop because he knows this is not where it's going to win. But hopefully, hopefully they'll keep it all clean throughout the remainder of this. We're on lap number 5, what I believe is going to be a 9-lap race, possibly 10, depending on how quick they can get over the line. Darryl Wright's been in the pits with a problem there, but at least he's back out on circuit now, still on the lead lap.
Yeah, Darryl Wright didn't look like he went into anything. He did stop, mind you, but he didn't look like he did anything to get in there. Saying that, as I see what has gone on here with Darryl Wright, this is coming over the line down the Brabham Straight, right hand of Paddock Hill, just completely got caught unsighted there, and unfortunately for Darryl Wright, into the barrier he went. Hefford, Ayres, side by side, tucked in. Cullinan the Irishman, Wilson the Englishman in behind him as well. PVG the Dutchman. It's an English, Welsh, English, Irish, English, Dutch battle on your screen at the moment. Whoa, Jamie Ayres, where are you off to there, dear son? As he turns that MX5 into a bit of a lawnmower there, ran it a little bit wide, left-hander of Surtees again. Now we've got this run out of Pilgrim's Drop, Tom. This is the one I think that these have got to look to get close to. Hawthorne is not the most easiest turn, but this is about the longest straight you're going to get in, Brands.
Yeah, and you need a really strong exit coming out of Surtees to even have a chance of getting alongside, and 5 of them sensibly getting through the Hawthorne safe and sound. Cullinan nearly dropped it on the exit of Graham Hill Bend, but was able to gather up very quickly. Hunt now 5.5 seconds clear of this group.
But that's no surprise. That really doesn't shock me. Look at what we've got fighting. We've now got Wilson's going to have a go. Up through Sheen, has pushed Cullinan out a little bit wide there. Cullinan's in the back. Now he's got the left-hander to deal with the Sterlings. We've got that run down now once again. Down Clearways, under the Advan Bridge they're going to go. Down to the right-hander of Clark Curve. Ralph Cullinan, Wilson, now got a battle out. Oh, slight little bit of contact. Now PVG has gone through. PVG has gone through. Slight little bit of contact between Wilson and Cullinan there. Was that just a miss of the brakes, do we think?
Well, it could quite possibly be there, but Van Gaal took advantage of an open door and went through, and I don't blame him for that. Now he can focus. Essentially, you can just see Jamie Ayres running wide through Paddock Hill Bend, and that is the invitation that Hefford needed. Yeah,
he's wide again. I don't understand. He's taking very wide lines. He's done it out the left-hander of Graham Hill as well. He's carrying it looks like he's just carrying a meaty amount of speed, is Jamie Ayres, to try and make up here. Hefford's got a full mirror of that car, and this is literally all Steve Hefford can see is that black and red Mazda MX5 coming at him at full speed. Down through Pilgrim's Drop we go. Jamie Ayres is tucked in once more. Is Steve Hefford going to be able to hold him? Well, that's looking back at Steve there. Jamie Ayres is, unfortunately disappeared there, so that's never good. So a great little battle from all of these guys as well, but it's going to be tough here. What they're going to get? They're going to get 138, 140, 280, possibly 2 more laps out of this yet.
Well, I was watching Hefford's driving there. It's almost like he's fighting with the car. Ayres thought about going for a move, but not through Sheen. He'll probably want to do it into Paddock Hill Bend. That might be the best place to get the overtake done. So you need a strong exit coming out of the Clark curve through Brabham, and just get alongside despite the undulation of turn number 1. As we see as into the district. Yeah, he's looking to the inside here. Hefford knows he's committed to the left-hand side, so he can't really move across now. And as he's not actually alongside. So Hefford has the right to turn in the way he has done into Paddock Hill Bend and keep hold of the position.
Yeah, Steve Hefford runs a little bit wide as, let's jump off Jamie Ayres while he's blinking around there, because that could cause me some deep problems here. PVG is back in with Cullinan. They've dropped Wilson. Morton's been off the side of the circuit as well. He's now down below Charles Kellerman and Fiona Siddons with Colin Sanson in there. So what has Roger Morton? All the way wide, down through Dingledale on the grass. Is he going to be able to hold it? Is he going to be able to hold it? No! Ouch for Roger Morton there. But back up front, Ralph Cullinan sitting in that 4th place here, Tom, having a go at Jamie Ayres down the straight that we said he's got to have a go. But Hawthorne's tricky on the outside.
Yeah, and Ayres needed to leave Cullinan room, which he struggled to do, I think, last week, unless I'm mistaken. And Ayres is able to maintain the advantage over Cullinan for the time being through Hawthorne and Westfield. Through Dingledale they come once more, and Hefford still in 2nd place behind Dan Hunt, who, let's be honest, he's got this race sewn up now unless he makes the daftest of errors between now and the end of the race. I think he's going to get over the line before 1 minute 40, actually, the 1 minute 40 mark. If that's the case, then we'll have 2 more laps of racing, judging by the times we have had so far tonight.
Yeah, Barney's not waving. So there's going to be 2 more to go. So PVG, you've got 2 more bites to the cherry at the Irishman and the Welshman in front of you. Cullen's going to have a go now again. Oh, he's so early on the brakes. Jamie Ayres is so much later through Paddock Hill, up through Pilgrim's Rise, under the Carlew Bridge, right at Druids. And PVG sitting in a prime spot here. But what can the Momo boys do to help him? The Irishman, he's not going to let it go easy as Cullinan. You know, he doesn't want to give that place up. He got caught out at the beginning, pushed a little bit offline, lost some places. PVG nearly just lost the car there as well. Can Momo help get PVG forward, do we think?
Well, the Momo drivers are in a battle of their own with Hefford in front of Ayres, and Ayres looking to the outside. Hefford got a very poor exit out of Surtees. That allows Ayres to go through as they enter Pilgrim, make that 3 side by side as they head towards Hawthorne once more. Is this going to end swiftly and sweetly? Or just about that. I think Hefford had to be kind there and let Ayres go through. And PVG going through on Cullinan through Westfield on the curb on the inside. But Cullinan had the high ground on the exit. But once you go on that inside curb, you're not going to have the exit speed that is desirable compared to the driver to your left. And that's why Cullinan was able to keep hold of the position.
I don't get how Cullinan did not get that position. How did he not get that position? He was on the... I'm sure he was on the inside line on this run here. How did he not get this position? Let's go forward just a little bit here. How has he not got this position? He had the inside line. Just send it in. And he was in front. How did you not hold on? I don't know.
I think what he was conscious about is actually the 3 of them going side by side, completely level. No, it's a collision! Have come together!
Oh, Hefford and Ayres! Hefford and Ayres! They've just had a moment between them. The 2 teammates. Ayres is out on the gravel again. Hefford's gone up the inside. Ayres is coming across. He's just looped him together. That's another Charles Kellerman, Roger Morton moment there between the 2 Momos. Hefford's all the way down in 9th. Ayres all the way up down in 6th. And that puts Ralph Cullinan in 2nd place. The Irishman himself is bowed his way through. He held on. The 2 up front took themselves out. And now Cullinan has just got to hold on from PVG.
Yeah, and Ayres has not even allowed Hefford back through. Ayres was responsible for it. Hefford was alongside. And Ayres just refused to leave him enough room.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And like Roger Morton and the Kellerman incident, Morton did allow Kellerman to go back through. Oh, PVG, you're not on a lawnmower, son. You are not on a lawnmower, but Dan Hunt comes over the line. DOF Reale takes the win right at the beginning, Mr. Hunt. Race 1 done. Is the Irishman going to hold on? He is. Is he going to hold on? He's coming down to the line now. PVG, they've got about 50 yards. It's going to be Ralph Cullinan. Ollie Ricks is going to come over and take that AM win with Jamie Ayres and Darren McLean rounding out second place. Steve Hepford trundling over the line. Colin Sanson in behind that one. Wraps out the podium. How gutted would you be for them Momo boys?
Well, just a lack of communication between the pair of them. But it was predictable. It was always going to end in tears when those two were going to be fighting over second place, securing the knowledge that PVG, Cullinan and Wilson were going to be behind to take advantage. And that exactly was what happened there. Yeah. And the Momo boys have only got themselves to blame for it, I'm afraid. Dan Hunt, he was always going to win out.
Oh, Tooney down to the line. Doesn't get Roger Morton, who's got half a car there as well. Oh, blimey.
Yeah, that would have been for reverse grid pole as well.
Cool. Yeah, it would have been there, and unfortunately Sir Alan Toons just missed out once more. Good evening, Mystery Maya, he says in YouTube chat. Good evening, Tyes, as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Tyes is PVG's nephew. So let's bring up the results for race number 1. Tyes is the nephew of PVG. Now, can we have the overalls, please, dear sir? Thank you very much. Dan Hunt is your winner, with Ralph Cullinan in second place. PVG in third. And Jamie Wilson in fourth. Ollie Ricks from the back of the field to the front of the AMs. Mighty from Ollie Ricks there. Fair play to you, son. Jamie Ayres in 6th. Darren McLean in 7th. Second in the AMs with Steve Hefford in 8th place. And Colin Sanson rounds out the podium of the AMs. And it's Charles Kellerman, Fiona Siddons, Roger Morton, pole position for race number 2. Great job from him. Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford and Darryl Wright there as well. We can safely say that was a good start to the evening, I think, as well, Tom. There were some good races, good racing, silly mistakes, teammates taking each other out, Kellerman and Morton having contact together. You know, there was a lot going on in race number 1.
And the good thing is, all of them made it to the end. So no retirements in that first race, which was good to see. Will it remain that way in the second race, with the reverse grid playing its part in that? With Roger Morton, who, well, he's had a mixed season so far, hasn't he? I think he's had a lot of opportunities gone missing for him throughout this campaign. I'm surprised he's not actually closer to Ollie Ricks, or even in the lead. Because Ollie Ricks has missed some weeks, hasn't he? And Roger Morton has not quite been able to take advantage of his absence. And he's ended up in the wars again with Charles Kellerman at Druids. Yeah. So he needs an incident-free race to get his AM Championship title hopes back on track.
Well, anything can happen, right? But he is on pole. So technically he's only just got to get away at the beginning, do a down hunt, clear off down the road, and job done for them. These guys have got about 3 minutes of a warm-up remaining. Darren McLean's out on the racetrack, Steve Hefford's out on the racetrack as well, and Ollie Ricks again is out on the racetrack. For me, I'm just sitting chilling for a warm-up. I'll go get a drink. Yeah, nestle back down again. That'll be about it for me. It's very hot today in the UK, so I wouldn't want to be sat in the rig throughout this evening. I think any sort of warm-up I would get, I think, Tom, I would be looking at getting up and going for a walk.
Well, you've only got a few minutes. I don't know how far of a walk you can do in 3 minutes from where you are.
Well, they got a 5-minute warm-up, didn't they? I could get up, I'd do some dancing, stretch my legs. You know what I mean?
You could throw a few. If you got a dartboard, you could throw a few darts or something like that, and improve your aim or something. Like
I could do the Macarena. You know what I mean? I could do whatever I like, couldn't I? Sing a song in 5 minutes. Not that I would, because nobody really wants to hear me sing. But you know, relive the days to doing the Macarena and the conga. I've got loads of time for that. Get the blood flowing there as well as Ollie Ricks. Yeah, not a good way there, bud. Off the side of the circuit. So there we go. So Hunt opened up, Cullinan second, PVG third, Ricks in the arms, McLean and Sanson. Sanson had a win last week, Morton had a win, McLean had a win, and Ricks had a win in the AMs, so very mixed there. Hunt in race 1 for the pros, Hefford, Hunt and then Cullinan in race number 4. So the AMs are quite level at the moment. I think this could be one championship that could go down to the absolute wire.
Absolutely so. I think Ollie Ricks seems to be the man in form at the moment. It's a great victory for him, for AM in that first race. 9 AM drivers are competing this evening to Pro's 6, and Ricks is enjoying live at the moment. In case you're wondering where else UkSimracers is going to be holding rounds in the summer campaign, we've got 4 rounds to go after this one in the summer season. We go to Road Atlanta next week, followed by Mugello, and it's off to Oschersleben in Germany. And then the season finale will be at Daytona on the road course, which should be very much fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these drivers contend there.
You seem very apprehensive there. Very much fun. Well, I think it might be. I think these guys might give us a little bit of an entertainment at Daytona. I don't know if you've ever seen these guys go at Daytona. How can I put it? At one point, I think we had nearly 4 to 5 wide at the line. That tells you the last chicane is not involved in that. And it was literally coming out of that second bus stop. It was nearly 4 to 5 wide going over the line. It was absolutely incredible there as well. So if you haven't watched Daytona, I think it was last season or the season before, go and hunt it out. It is in the playlists. So it's definitely worth checking out because it was absolutely amazing racing that evening. They swapped. We lost count how many times they changed leads. It was just absolutely incredible. Right, here we go. The grid is up for race number 2 here, and it is Roger Morden on pole position with Fiona Siddons in second, Charles Kellerman third, then Colin Sanson, Steve Everett, Darren McLean, Jamie Ayres, Ollie Ricks, Jamie Wilson, PVG, Ralph Cullinan and Dan Hunt. And then behind that, Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford and Darrell Wright. Yes, I did speed read generally because they do get on the grid very, very quickly. So let's see what goes on. Roger Morton on pole for the Pure Sims result team. And Fiona Siddons there as well. No Pete Newman this week. So Pete unfortunately is not made this week. Here we go now. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green for race number 2. Morton takes the whole shot as he does on that run down into turn 1. Siddons gets off the line well as well. Manages to hold on to that second place. Kellerman's in there in third. And then Colin Sanson. Do they all get through Paddock Hill nice and cleanly there? Dan Hunt at the back. Tooney's at the back. Hansford and Wright as well. They're coming into the right-hander of Druids now. Little bit of argy-bargy in the mid-pack. 2B2. They go through with Wilson, McLean, Sanson there as well. Roger Morton did what he had to do here, Tom. He's got an absolute flyer.
Yeah, absolute flyer from Roger Morton, and he needs to keep it very much clean. Don't take too much out of the tyres too soon. Steve Everett on the inside of Charles Cullinan, it through Surtees, and Fiona Siddons is next for him to make his way through. In fact, Siddons could end up being used as the cork in the bottle, if you like, for a few corners at most, I would think, because Steve Everett is already alongside. And I don't think Siddons is going to fight this one. No,
definitely not. It's going to allow him to go through. Ayres has gone up as well. Now Ayres is going to look for the inside. They're 3 wide further back. They are 3 wide. Wilson backed out and went, no, we're not, James. I am not sticking my nose in there. But he's got Siddons and Ayres alongside each other. They're going through. Sheen now. Siddons is going wide. That's going to open the door up for Kellerman and Sanson. Sanson's going to dive around the outside now as well. Through Sterling's we go. Colin Sanson's going to have the inside here, Tom. But you can tell Wilson thought about that. He thought about going 3 wide. Turned around and went, nope. As I say that, they're 3 wide going into clock.
Yeah, he's almost boxed in there. Oh, Cullinan spun! And it's almost taking the rest of the field with him.
Whoa! So Alan Toon going around there as well. I got a funny feeling there was a couple of others involved in this.
Yeah, and I knew from the moment Wilson was boxed in there, Cullinan would kind of have to expect he was going to get... PVG. Oh, dear me. Yeah.
Oh, Tooney just trying to avoid him now. And unfortunately for Ralph Cullen, it's resulted in him back in the pits, but Morton's out in front. Hefford's gone round. Hefford has gone round. Stevie Hefford in the yellow Momo. He's jumped back to the pits as well. He's gone round. They're dropping like flies already, Tom, and we've still got 12 cars remaining and at least another 8 laps.
Yeah, that's half of the pro drivers gone already, and we've only done 1.5 laps of this race. Morton in the lead still, 1.8 seconds clear over Jamie Ayres, who, let's be honest, he's got a golden opportunity to make up for the melodies he had in race 1 and actually win out this time. Wilson doesn't look close enough right now, but that could change within the next few laps. And Dan Hunt, well, if he was that dominant in race 1, can he make up some positions from where he is at and make his way through it? And I think Fiona Siddons has gone for a spin.
Yes, I can physically tell you she has gone for a spin. Jamie Ayres, Kellerman, Wilson, McLean is in the background there. McLean and Wilson all over each other. Hunt has got Ricks for company. Darrell Wright is trying to come through on the inside. That's Steve Hansford on the left-hand side. They go under the Yarnbound Bridge now. Wright's going to run round. He's going to try to cut back. He would have had it as well if Hansford had a little bit more speed. But now Wright's tucked him right behind him for Darrell Wright, who is going to be on the... Is he going to be on the right to round out my rights? He's not. He's going to go down the left. There's the red, white and orange machine, and through he goes for Darrell right there as well. Roger Morton's gap's down to 8 tenths at the moment.
Yeah, and Ayres has got the gap down to under a second, so I think it's inevitable he's going to pass Morton. It's a matter of when for Ayres, but it won't need to worry. Ooh, who's that? That's Colin Sanson nearly dropping it. Was he able to continue?
Yes, he managed to hold on to it.
Yeah, he just about though, and that was very nearly curtains for Sanson, and that would have been a huge shame because he's running very well in this one so far. And Fiona Siddons in the pits. I believe she must have picked up damage in the moment that she was in on that last lap.
Yeah, dropped it somewhere else. Hunt's going to go up the inside of McLean, round Hawthorns we go. Hunt's got the job done there. Wilson's tucked in behind him, and then Sanson, Kellerman, Ayres. Ayres has only got 4. Oh, I wish he would stay on the racetrack. He causing me all sorts of problems there, Mr. Jamie Ayres. As we go on to the roll bar, Charles Kellerman, the left-hander. Look for the dip on the inside. There you go. Now get your rotation out and try and catch up as best you possibly can. But Colin Sanson is going to have other ideas here, as he's going to be near enough trying to catch up to Charles Kellerman. And Kellerman wants to hang on to the Ayres battle in front. He's not got long. Now Ayres has got Morton in his sights. Down the Brabham straight they go. Right-hander into Paddock Hill now. Ayres is going to look. Is he going to look? Is he going to look? He isn't going to look this time around there, Tom. But I can tell you what, he was in prime position to get the run out of there and get the inside for Druids.
Yeah, he needs to get this done now because Wilson and Hunt will be on his tail sooner rather than later. Ayres on the inside of Morton into Druids. And that was as clean as a whistle. Ayres through into the lead. Now he just needs to keep hold of it and not make any more mistakes.
Yep, job done for Jamie Ayres. He's got the opportunity now to basically hang on and take the win in race number 2. It's going to be tough with Morton tucked in so close, but Morton is the arm leader. Kellerman's second in the arms. He's closing in. Jamie Wilson's 2 seconds back. Darren McLean got all a little bit squirrely in the background there as well. McLean nearly wasn't so clean and nearly ended up being dirty off the side of the racetrack. Can tell you for him, Darrell Wright is back behind Steve Hansford again. I am surprised by that, considering Steve let Darrell Wright go, and probably he should have been further down the road by now, Darrell Wright, but they are running back together again, and Wright does make it through this time. Can Ayres shake Morton though, Tom? That's going to be the question.
Well, he should be able to, but that's not Morton's battle. Morton's battle is with Kellerman, of which they already have history this evening, and they do not want to be coming together again. Yeah.
It's really hard because I know what it's like being out on the racetrack, and I know what it's like when you're racing, and you know the Ayres and Hefford situation. It was the same as the Morton Kellerman, and this is the thing. I don't think Kellerman is. He's not. I don't want to say he's a passive driver because that does in no respect, but he isn't one of these that will go and just hurtle it up the inside and he'll have to come by FedEx. He's come from that far away. You know, he's sensible. He does his bit. He's Mr. I wouldn't say Mr. Nice Guy, really. And they say nice guys finish last. Maybe it does in racing. But he just goes about and gets his business done. And I think Charles Kellerman, I don't think he's going to move any further forward. I think this is it for him. But I think he would be happy with that.
Well, Morton has had a good exit coming out of Surtees, and I think he's going to use the draft to just try and pull away from Kellerman if he can. And he won't get the overtake done through Hawthorne, so that'd be the daftest thing he'll end up doing all season. And he waits behind as there, but we've got a battle between Wilson and Hunt for second place in Pro. And how is that battle going to play out? Because this is important for Hunt's race. If he's going to make it 2 from 2 here at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, Sanson's just literally taking the whole of Dingledale down on the grass. So well done for him to managing to hold out. Wilson come on strong in the second half of that last race. Maybe his tyres like coming back in for Wilson this time around, you know, and I think he gets in quite strong. He's closed the gap to Kellerman down to about 1.1, so we could end up with a good five-car battle here as long as Hunt doesn't start going after Wilson. I think if Hunt starts battling Wilson, they're trying to battle each other.
Yeah, well, Hunt needs to get a move on now. He's running out of time. I think he's probably going to have either 3 or 4 more laps after this one, and he's not got long to get the overtakes done. And you can see the gap is increasing between Kellerman and Wilson as a consequence of Wilson and Hunt's battle. Someone running wide. Who's that? That's Colin Sanson running wide on the exit of Surtees. That should allow Darren McLean to go through, but McLean has not been able to get through this time around. Ollie Ricks, the winner in AM in the first race, he's not able to get through this time around. He's not having as good of a second race as he has done in the first, actually, is he?
No, it's not. But was that aided by people taking their own little trips off the race circuit? You know what I mean? You've got to sort of think of that kind of perspective for Ollie Ricks. There was a lot going on in race 1. McLean is in front of him. Then you got Sanson. He knows it's going to be difficult. Sanson can't keep doing that. You've got to keep it on the race circuit. Now you're going to jeopardise your exit out, McLean, for not going and being aggressive with Colin Sanson. That's going to be the problem. Ricks is going to try and run around the outside. He's going to try and get there. He's not going to get it done. He's looking for the exit of Clark. Now is Darren McLean has gone round. Darren McLean has gone round. Here comes Wilson. He's coming through like an oh, Hunt's there as well. God blimey, I didn't see all of them as the 2B2 going down through Paddock Hill here.
Yeah, this could end up getting rather messy here if they're not careful. But you can see Wilson on the inside of Kellerman into second place as Roger Morton goes behind Dan Hunt. And Morton needs Hunt to get through on Kellerman so that Morton can get back in the fight again.
Yeah. He's now going to touch in. Morton's going to go again. I tell you what, Wilson is so strong in the second half of this race. So strong in the second half of the races. I'm so impressed with Jamie Wilson. And see how he gets on for race 3 and 4 on the complete random reverses for race 3. We will tell you what they are for 4. Kellerman now has got Hunt alongside. Now we go into a straight pro-am fight. Hunt and Wilson the pros, Kellerman Morton the AMs, and now it is a straight little punch-up heavyweight boxing match going on this track right about now. Through Dingledale they go, up to the right-hand of Machines, and at the moment Wilson's still holding on, but the leader, the winner from race 1, Dan Hunt, right behind him for Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, Hunt should be in the wheel traps here and actually go and make a move on Wilson, but where does he decide to do it? You see Sanson running wide again. Ricks should be able to get through, heading through clear ways, and he does so. Third in class he goes, although Sanson does fight back. That battle is very much raging on, as much as the one between Wilson and Hunt and Ricks through before they get to Paddock Hill Bend. We want to go back to the Wilson-Hunt fight. Wilson tucking it out there. Oh, they make contact. Now, can they get through Jurids safely here? And Wilson on the inside. Hunt needs to read that. He does so. Wilson gets a little bit out of shape on the exit. That is the high ground of which Hunt needs to get through on the inside into Graham Hill Bend. Second place goes in the way of race 1 winner Dan Hunt.
Yeah, but for how long? How long before the speed machine Wilson tonight comes back at him? Is it going to be this run down the Pilgrim's Drop? It looks like it's going to be the run down Pilgrim's Drop. Is he going to be able to get there again for Jamie Wilson? We're on the long side now as well. Dan Hunt squeezing. Give me room. I'm not an orange in a juicer, son. Here we go. He's got to be brave, Wilson. He's got to be brave. He wasn't quite brave enough. What's he going to be able to do now? He's going to have one and one more here, Tom. Wilson's got to be brave somewhere.
Yeah, he's got to go for it as Wilson, and he just needs to get a strong exit coming out of Clearways all the way to Druid, get alongside and actually shut the door on Hunt this time, so there's no way that Hunt can fight back from there. Look to see Ayres going over the line sooner rather than later. Will we get one more lap or will it be 2? We'll wait and see.
48, 47, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It should be the final lap of the race. Barney is waving on the left-hand side there, so we are on the final lap. So here goes Wilson now. Barney's waving frantically. Wilson's got to look at the inside this time around. Going round Paddock Hill. No. Over the curb he goes. No. Can he get it up into Druids here as well? No. There's not a lot of places that Wilson's got left here. Tom, what is he going to be able to do about this one?
Well, he needs a strong exit out of Cersei's. That is probably his last chance to get alongside and be brave on the brakes and make a move on Dan Hunt for second place in the race here, as well as for Crow. Can he do it out of Cersei's? He needs to push Hunt wide again. Hunt did run wide there, but I don't think Wilson is as close as what it was on the previous lap. Hunt should have this second place sewn up for him. But if these two come together, it could change things.
Come on, Jamie, you've got to be brave, son, if you're going to send it round there. You have got to stick him up, put him in your pocket this time around, mate. It's not going to happen. He's got one more crack of it. If he can get the run out of Sterling's, get the inside for Clark, he might be able to do it. And I say might in the loosest possible terms, because he has got to do it. That's the only place he's got left. Hunt's on the grass. That's going to stunt him a little bit. On the brakes now for Wilson. Get this run. Can he get this run? No, he cannot get the run. And I've got a funny feeling it is going to be Hunt who's going to claim that second place. Jamie Ayres round Clark's for the final time, and it looks like it is going to be Hunt who's going to take the victory. Jamie Ayres gets the job done. Win number 1 for him. Dan Hunter Wilson. Charles Kellerman wraps up the arms with Roger Morton, and Colin Sanson hold on. So poor old Ollie Ricks didn't even get a podium.
No, forfeit will have to be for Ricks. McLean dropped back behind Darrell Wright there, so I don't know what happened to him. McLean was involved in that spin, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. And I think the two are just going over the line now. So Wright finishing ahead of McLean, and it's Hansford and Sir Alan soon. That will be the rest of the finishers. Although Steve Hansford has had a big old whack at the rear there. You can see by the dent there on his rear bumper.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling this is it. Well, he's had another whack before that, but his car is not looking healthy. Over the curb. Oh, bumpity, bumpity, bumpity. What did you do here then, son? Oh, he's going to run wide.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's going to push the car around.
Ouch.
Oh, dear. I'm surprised he was able to continue.
But I think it really does depend on how close he was to the end, I think, on that one. Here are the results from race number 2. Jamie Ayres is your winner with Dan Hunt in second and Jamie Wilson in third. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the pros. Charles Kellerman in fourth. Then Roger Morton and Colin Sanson. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the AMs. Ollie Ricks, Darrell Wright, Darren McLean, Steve Hansford, Alan Toon, Steve Hefford, Fiona Siddons, PVG and Ralph Cullinan. Hefford, Siddons, Van Gaal and Cullinan did not finish the race. Right, guys, we're going to go and jump on a quick BRB as we head off over to the next session. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, guys, we are back for race number 3, the complete random reverse grid here as well. Race 4 will be a top 10 reverse, so keep tuned and stay tuned for that one, as race number 3 will be completely random. So we'll be able to bring you up the grid very, very shortly when it switches over into race number 3. Welcome in. My name's James Parfitt, still alongside Tom Cairns here as well. Let's bring you up the grid. It's going to be Jamie Wilson out on pole this time, Ralph Cullinan in second, Sir Alan Toon in third, then Steve Hansford, Dan Hunt and Ollie Ricks will round out the top 6. Roger Moore, Fiona Siddon, Steve Hefford, Charles Kellerman, Darren McLean and Darrell Wright. And then the final ones out of that, Pete Van Gool, Colin Sanson and Jamie Ayres right at the back. He did not benefit from the race 3 grid, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, race 3 is going to be up and running very, very shortly. Just waiting for Roger Morton to get on to the grid. So stay tuned for this one. If you've missed any of this, race 1 and 2 has been very, very interesting, but the lights are coming on right about now. It is 1, light 2, lights 3, lights 4, lights 5, lights. Race 3 is green, green, green. Jamie Wilson did not get a good start. Ralph Cullinan got an absolute flyer off the line. Down through paddock, here he goes. He's going to take the whole shot lead. Down through turn 1. Chaos in the back a little bit as they're all 2B2B2. 3 wide further back as well. Pete Van Gool in there. But I tell you what, though, Tom, Ralph Cullinan got an absolute flyer.
It looks like he got an absolute flyer, but I'm rather suspicious of where he jumped the lights ever so slightly, James. I don't know if we'll be able to get a replay of that. But he is in front of Wilson for the time being, with Steve Hansford in 3rd place. Dan Hunt 4th. It's Alan Toon and Ollie Ricks behind. Jamie Ayres had an absolutely terrible start, which just dropped him down towards the back of the field, and he's going to have it all to do if he is to be within the fight with Cullinan, Wilson, Hunt and Co.
Yeah, Cullinan and Wilson side by side down through Pilgrim's Drop they go. It's going to be the left-hander, the right-hander, of Hawthorns, side by side still. Cullinan just doesn't like that inside line. I'm so surprised that he's not managing to hold on positions from that inside line. He's just not sending it in deep enough to give that guy on the outside something to think about. It looks like Sir Alan Toon. Oh, it's been a big one at the back. That's Siddon's involved in that one as well. Charles Kellerman he looked like he may have been involved. Jamie Ayres there. Oh, Darren McLean has gone round and into the barrier as well. But Wilson, Cullinan, Hansford, then Dan Hunt, Ollie Ricks behind that as well. But Wilson still managing to hold on. Fiona Siddons and Sir Alan Toon went off track together. I wonder what they did here. Toon is out in front. He's got 2 cars up the road. Oh, he was bumped round by Hefford. And then into Siddons. And unfortunately went all a little bit wrong, but Alan Toon took a little of a bump from Steve Hefford there. And unfortunately that's caused him a problem. Hansford has lost that position to Hunt further back as they come into Druids. Hansford's now gone round after going in a little bit too hot. That's released Ollie Ricks again for the leading of the AMs there, Tom. The last couple of minutes it's been a little bit manic.
Yeah, I think that there's too many dive bombs going on at the moment, and resulting in drivers spinning around and causing problems to other drivers through no fault of their own. All of this is playing into the hands of Jamie Ayres, actually, because he's just getting through on Colin Sanson now, and he can set about chasing after his next target, which is Roger Morton. And they're still going at it! And there's 2 cars in the wall, almost, and one's upside down.
Yeah, Charles Kellerman is on his roof. There's Sanson on the outside. They just Sanson goes round and then over he goes, Kellerman. And unfortunately, that's a direct back to the pits. You're never getting that car off your roof, no matter what you want to do. Cullinan and Wilson still having a great little ding-dong. They're 2 seconds out in front of Dan Hunt. Ollie Ricks still leading the AMs. He's now got PBG and Steve Hefford closing as much as possible, with Jamie Ayres there as well. Just hope the 3 Momos don't end up coming together. Darren McLean and Steve and Hansford is going down through Dingledale and then into the right-hander Rasheen's at the top and still managing to hold on. But it's all about the Irishman and the Englishman, Jamie Wilson, Ralph Cullinan. How is it going to do this? The problem I fear for Ralph Cullinan, though, Tom, is Wilson looks quick, so quick over the second half of this races.
Yeah, it's showing here as well. Cullinan tugging in behind Wilson could do with a victory. I can't even remember the last time Jamie Wilson won a race, actually. But there you go. Wilson, who's not won for a while, Cullinan with only one win so far in the summer campaign of UK SimRacers. Dan Hunt looking for his second win of the evening. Ollie Ricks dominating the AM proceedings as we speak. There's someone that's dropping it, and that is PVG.
Oh, he did as well. He ended up right in the wall. How did you end up there? Oh, he's going to hit the curb on the outside. Yep. Massive overcorrect for PVG, and into the wall he goes. Unfortunately for him, that's the Dutchman chopped down the order. Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres, we've seen this one before, side by side, as this time does take that position. But Wilson and Cullinan still going at each other up front here, Tom. It's all getting very, very close for these. But I'm fearful if Cullinan don't get the job done, the next 8 minutes is going to be all Wilson, if Wilson keeps up the speed he has been.
Yeah, and Siddons was just out of the pits for a moment, but she's gone back in again. Sanson, I would have thought, is continuing to struggle with the handling issues on his car, but it seems to be coping just about fine. But now Cullinan is still going at Wilson here as they complete the third lap of this race. Hunt will be involved in this very, very shortly, and I'd like to think Ayres will be involved before this race is over once he gets by Ollie Ricks.
Yeah, Wilson's taken a nice line through Paddock Hill. Up now they go into the right-hander Druids. Job done for Wilson. Manages to hold on. Cullinan got very, very close. Dan Hunt is closing in. He's about 1.1 back. Ricks a further 1.1 behind that. Then 4 seconds to Jamie Ayres and Steve Hefford. That could be a race for where they are. I don't think they're going to be able to have the pace to take that any further forward than where they already are. But look at Ralph Cullinan tucked up behind Wilson at this moment in time here, Tom. Great from the Irishman.
Yeah, Cullinan right into the slipstream there, going alongside there, that small gap, but it was worth it for the Irishman. On the inside, entering Hawthorns now. Will they get through safely? Contact made, and Wilson is able to move in front. Cullinan will not like that one bit.
He still can't hold the inside line. He still cannot hold the inside line through Hawthorns. I don't get it. He's got to let it drift out and give Wilson something to think about. He can't keep playing Mr. Nice Guy, the Irishman. He's got to get his elbows out at Hawthorns. He gets the run, but he just cannot hold the inside line. And he needs to send it in and just open it up a little bit. As soon as you start trying to tighten it up, it loses speed. And now these guys have brought in Dan Hunt into the mix, who's not going to be Mr. Nice Guy on the racetrack.
No, and why shouldn't he? Because he's fighting for victory after all, and he's in control of the championship. Determined to get another win there. Cullinan trying to find a gap, but there isn't quite one there for him to get through. Wilson taking the line very nicely through Druids. And what are Cullinan and Hunt thinking about doing now? Will Hunt decide to even go for 2 birds in 1 stone on the exit of Surtees? We'll find out sooner rather than later here. You can see Hunt running wide, so I think that will go for another lap. So I think you'll be happy to just watch these two fight it out and just take advantage should they come together.
Yeah, around the left-hander of Surtees they go, then running down to Pilgrim's Drop once more. Wilson's going to have the inside line. Is he going to keep it pinned this time? He knows he's got to come out a little bit. Now Cullinan's going to try the outside. Are you going to be brave enough, Ralph? You've got to hang it out there. He's hung it out there. Hunt's got nowhere to go. He's pushed Wilson. Now Cullinan sweeps round. That's it, Ralphie, son, as he sweeps round the outside of Jamie Wilson that time. But Wilson's coming into his gap. He's coming into his time in the race where he all of a sudden develops an insane amount of pace as Jamie Wilson. Can he now get this back again? Well, time will tell. Can Ollie Ricks? That's not going to help him. And can Ollie Ricks get involved with it?
Yeah, he got on the curb, did Cullinan on the exit Sterling, hence why he had lost some crucial exit speed. Wilson going back through, but Cullinan needs to make sure he leaves enough room for Hunt to get through round the outside here. And they are starting the next lap now, going through Paddock Hill Bend they come. Cullinan on the inside, Hunt on the outside. How is this going to play? Oh, Cullinan got very heavy on the curb there. Hunt able to leave enough room on the inside. Will it remain that way through Druids here? Cullinan braking later than Hunt, but Hunt will have the inside line for the next corner they are coming through, which is Graham Hill. And it looks like Hunt has got enough of a margin here. Cullinan will have to go out wide here. You can see how aggressive Hunt is being, but this is favouring Wilson up ahead. And Hunt will just want to get through here now. You can just see the brake lights being applied there, determined to outbrake the other driver, and Hunt goes into second place at last.
Yeah, he just bullied Cullinan going around the left-hander of Surtees there. And unfortunately, the Irishman didn't quite have enough to hang it out round the outside. And it's now all about whether or not Dan Hunt's going to be able to keep up with the rapid machine of Mr. Wilson. I believe that could be Charles Kellerman up the road. It is. Charles will not make this difficult whatsoever as soon as Wilson starts coming in. But this is where Wilson gets speed. I don't know why he gets speed here, but he does. His last 5 minutes, he is an absolute rocket. And he's just got to make the most of it. He's going to have Kellerman's draft to try and help him pull away from Hunt. Hunt's going to try and pick up on his draft to stay forward with him. But for now, Wilson's just got to keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going and going and going. Don't overdrive yourself. Now pick up on Charles Kellerman if you can and stay in front. Cullinan's trying to close down. Rick's in behind that. This is the battle for the front four. Closest battle on the track at the moment. We have got Sanson Toon and PVG further down, but they're out of the top 10 running here. And at the moment, it's Steve Hansford who will be on pole position. Charles Kellerman, you've got to make a decision now, mate, because you've got the leaders coming in, and they're coming in quite quick. Kellerman might want to get round the left-hander of Graham Hill first here, Tom, before he thinks about pulling over and letting them through.
Just looking at Jamie Wilson then as he approaches Charles Kellerman towards Surtees they come, and he's starting to get held up now is Wilson, and Dan Hunt will be thankful of that. Kellerman thankfully not making any business whatsoever, although Wilson hasn't got through on him yet. But how will Kellerman decide to play it with Hunt? Will he do the same with Hunt? I'm not so sure he should be doing so. Well, he's going to the side now. Look, he's got out of his way. Now he's got Cullinan.
Oh, he come out and just went straight in front of the Irishman there. Oh, I can believe it. Charles, I picked you up telling you you're Mr. Nice Guy. You're getting in the way a little bit now, son. You are getting in the way just a little bit. Get it over, get out of the way, in the politest possible terminology here. There you go. He goes on the brake lights now, but that has lost Ralph Cullinan nearly half a second to Dan Hunt in that one little sweep. We're going to have a battle. Oh, it's going to be close here. There might be 2, maybe 3 laps at the most.
Yeah, that was out of order from Charles Kellerman. The way he held up Ralph Cullinan through the infield all the way through, and Cullinan lost crucial ground to the top 2 there. So I think Kellerman deserves a slap on the wrist for that, because he's not.
Okay, I think we may have lost Tom there. Tom, you there?
The leaders.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. I don't know if you've misread what I said there, but I was just saying that it was out of order from Charles Kellerman. The way he held up Ralph Cullinan throughout the last lap there, and Ralph Cullinan lost crucial ground. And it goes back to what I was saying, that Charles Kellerman.
Yeah, I think Tom, one of us might be having a little bit of internet connection issues there, because we lost Tom throughout the whole entire statement of what he was saying. But Wilson and Hunt side by side through Hawthorns now. They're going to come into the right-hander of Westfield. Oh, Wilson's going to want the inside. He's got the inside. Can he hold it down through Dingledale now? Oh, Hunt's trying to run around the outside. If Wilson's smart, he'll open it up on him. He hugs him a little bit. Hunt gets a little bit of a grass. That's brought Cullinan back into play with Ollie Ricks here. This 4-car fight still going there, Tom.
Hopefully you can read me now better, James.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Dan Hunt on the tail of Jamie Wilson as they come round to, I think this might be the final lap they're about to start, James. Now we're waiting for the white flag to be waved. Yeah, there we go. 1 lap to go then. Wilson ahead of Hunt, and it's Cullinan, who thankfully is back in this fight now after being held up by Charles Kellerman a couple of laps before. And so we are seeing the leaders coming through Paddock Hill Bend. And now this is Druids. How is this one going to play out? Hunt round the outside of Jamie Wilson into Druids, and he's not able to make the move stick, and that opens the door for Ralph Cullinan to get his nose alongside, but Hunt will always have the inside line for Graham Hill Bend, and so he holds his position. But now he needs the strongest of exits out of Surtees if he's to have any chance of snatching victory from Jamie Wilson here. And it looks like Steve Hefford has been in the wall somewhere. Oh, that's nearly Dan Hunt dropping it on the exit of Surtees, and I think he can wave goodbye to the victory and focus his attention on staying in front of Ralph Cullinan there, he's alongside, but they made contact at Pilgrim's Drop. Will they get through safely here? Cullinan earlier on the brakes toward Dan Hunt there. I think that was rather sensible, otherwise they could have come to blows.
Oh, Cullinan was... I think it was too nice. I think he could have run around the outside like he did with Wilson there. Dan Hunt, oh, bro. You can't squeeze him like that on a straight. You gave him barely any racing room. Now we're going into the left hand of the final run now for Jamie Wilson to get his first win of the season. Dan Hunt is close, mind you. Wilson's got to get it. He's got one more corner to go. Under the Advan Bridge we go. I think it's going to be all about Jamie Wilson. It is going to be Wilson. Wilson's going to get his first win. As far as I'm aware, I can't remember him doing it ever again. Jamie Wilson takes his first win of the season. Go on, son. Look at that. And Ollie Riggs wraps up the AM win as well. Great win from Wilson that time.
Yeah, and it's great to see Jamie Wilson out on top this time after so much second place. Ralph Cullinan bagging a podium finish there. And well done to Ollie Riggs winning again in AM. That will do his AM championship hopes no harm whatsoever. Jamie as 5th overall, 4th in class, and Roger Morton, Darren Wright, who complete the podium finishes in AM. Darren McLean and Steve Hunsford, who's had another race to forget in all honesty. Pete Van Gool crossing over the line ahead of Colin Sanson and Alan Toon. What happened to Steve Hefford? Because he dropped out on the last lap. We didn't quite see what had been going on with him. It'd be good to see what actually happened. I think it was round about where Druids is, where he had the moment, unless it was Paddock Hill Bend.
I can't tell you. There's nothing on there from Steve Hefford at all. So here are the results from race number 3. Jamie Wilson, your winner. Dan Hunt and Ralph Cullinan. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the AMs. Ollie Riggs again in the pros, taking the win with Jamie Ayres in 5th place. And Roger Morton and Darrell Wright round out the podium in the AMs. Darren McLean, Steve Hansford and PVG on pole for the next race. That should be exciting. Then Colin Sanson, Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hefford, Charles Kellerman and Fiona Siddons. I will do a little bit of digging. Steve is still in the session, so I am hoping that he is all right. But we have got about 4 minutes of a warm-up. Again, though, for me, I think Cullinan missed an opportunity. I really do. He's got to be braver round that Hawthorns Bend, whether it be outside or inside. He's just got to be braver with it. He's just not brave enough, I don't think.
It feels that way, and that could be the difference between him winning one race and the likes of Dan Hunt winning loads. And if he's going to win the championship overall for 2024, he's got to get his elbows out and just be later on the brakes and get moves done. I don't know. Maybe it's because Brands Hatch is not particularly his kind of circuit. He'd rather have circuits where there are more slow corners on there. And Mugello is not one of those circuits. Oschersleben is a little bit. The likes of Daytona and Atlanta, it's kind of similar to Brands Hatch, don't you think? Yeah,
I don't know. I can't answer what it is here. And I don't know how he's going to get on at the next ones. But I just think for him to wrap that up, he's just got to be a little bit stronger here as well. Excuse me, where's the rain? Says Ollie Riggs in YouTube chat. Ollie, I can't answer that question, mate. Maybe there ain't none. Who knows?
Well, we're not seeing rain so far. We haven't seen it this evening, and if we do get through the remainder of tonight without any rain at all, it'll be the first round we've had all of the summer campaign without any rain at all.
So there you go, mate. Can't answer your question. Don't know, Captain. Don't know. Hey, it's sunny today at Brands, mate. Maybe we don't need the rain. Maybe that's why. Because if it's realistic weather, maybe it's just the fact that it's nice, Ollie. You know what I mean?
We're just waiting for the warm-up session to come to its conclusion, and then we'll know for certain whether we are going to get rain or not. But at least PVG can look at himself and look at the fact that he's on reverse grid pole. It's a long time since we've seen him stand on the top step, James. So he could do with a victory this evening.
Yeah, I can't actually remember the last time he did, to be honest.
I don't know if he won at Phillip Island a few weeks ago, but I could well be wrong on that. It might be maybe another round before someone like Red Bull Ring. Don't know.
Yeah, I can't honestly remember when's the last time PVG took a victory. Did PVG though? Oh my god, my brain's gone dead. I don't actually know. I can't remember. Which is, yeah, I don't know. Not sure. So there we go. We'll see how he gets on. He stood on the top step. Let's see if he can make it again. He will be on reverse grid pole, so that's good. And we'll see how he gets on, I suppose, from this one, Tom, to be honest with you, because I think he's got a great opportunity now.
Well, he needs to do what Dan Hunt did in the first race and just pull away and look like he's going to be untroubled. Because he's got at least 4 cars between him and the next pro driver. That's where he needs to capitalise on. So if he can do that, then he could well be picking up a necessary victory for his campaign.
Well,
he's not had one in a while.
Well, we're going to find out how he gets on here. For Jamie Ayres, it's going to be very, very shortly to see whether or not PVG can get off the line, whether or not he's going to be able to hold on to that first place, of course, and see how he gets on. We've got about 4 seconds remaining of the warm-up. There we go. The warm-up is done. We will bring you up the grid as soon as it is ready. It's been 28 degrees today, Ollie. I told you. Could be the fact it's just nice at Brands, Ollie. We don't need rain all the time. Doesn't always rain in the UK. He says, laughing, because it pretty much has. Let's be real. These 2 days have been the only 2 days we've had of summer. PVG is in first place with Steve Hansford alongside Darren McLean and Darryl Wright with Roger Morton. All first 2 rows from up to 5th. Jamie Ayres, Ollie Ricks, Ralph Cullen and Dan Hunt, Jamie Wilson, Colin Sanson and Sir Alan Toon. Then you've got Steve Hefford, Charles Kellerman and Fiona Siddons behind that one. Right, race number 4. Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, hold on to your hats because we're going to be green after we see these lights. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last round of the night, round 4, is green, green, green as PVG leads us away at the front there. Can he hold on? He's got an absolute flying start. Takes the whole shot down into turn 1. PVG running away with it already. He's opened up a second gap and we're only on turn 1. Absolutely great job from him. Jamie Ayres and Darryl Wright in there. Ralph Cullen and Dan Hunt there banging doors. Then you've got Wilson and Ricks behind that one and Sanson and Hefford. Lots going on. Darryl Wright straight across the circuit into Ollie Ricks. And they were just literally talking in YouTube chat together. Are they still going to be talking after this? Hunt goes round. He comes back onto the racetrack. Boom! Into Ollie Ricks. Oh no! They were literally just talking in YouTube chat and they are in the same team, Tom. But PVG's out in front.
Yeah, what a shame for Ollie Ricks. No fault of his own either, and Darryl Wright just reversed back into the path of him there, and yeah, it looks like one of the Momo cars got involved in it. I think it was Jamie Ayres that he came together with, and yeah, sent him into the barrier, came reversing back onto the racetrack, and he essentially just took out Ollie Ricks as a result there. So Ricks out of the race. Darryl Wright is not going to continue either. Ignore the timing tower because that is incorrect. It's PVG who's in the lead. It was a rocket of a start there. So PVG doing everything he needs to be doing so far. But there is Steve Hefford.
Oh no, Steve. Is another one going to be in the pit lane? There's a chaos! That's Morton, that's Cullinan! Morton's all over the place, Siddons! Oh my dearie Jesus, witness what is going on? What happened here? Oh, Morton into Kellerman, Cullinan into Kellerman, oh my Jesus. Cullinan into Kellerman, then Morton, and it all just went wrong. And we've got 3 cars into the pit lane already here, and that has just been absolutely insane.
Yeah, and Roger Morton will have damage from the contact as well. Was it Roger Morton that hit Ralph Cullinan? I think it was, yeah, and he'll have picked up damage from it. And I saw Fiona Siddons actually clip Morton as Morton was just rejoining back in the correct direction. So Morton in the wars with Ralph Cullinan. I think Ralph Cullinan may be without his bumper, James. Someone lost a bumper there. I couldn't quite pick on who it was. Was it a rear bumper?
I don't know, but it's all. Everybody's got their bumper. Who's that? The 57. That's Hansford. Does look like he's just got himself a bit of a slowdown. But one of the things we haven't talked about is look who's in second place. Darren McLean. Can he be another AM to take another overall?
Well, we've had one AM driver win overall this season. PVG's in the lead. Darren McLean, really strong position to win out in AM as well. Cullen just getting through on Fiona Siddons to make up for lost time. And it's been a chaotic opening couple of laps, it has to be said.
Yeah, I agree. It has. PVG goes onto the gravel. That slowed him down a little bit. We've got Siddons in the mix with Cullinan further back as they're coming down the hill. Cullinan just sweeps around. I'm surprised both of them have got their bumpers. I'm sure there was a bumper come off in that chaotic mess that happened there between a lot of them. But Darren McLean doing a great job here. Can he do it realistically? Do we think he can hold on? Do we think he can get the win?
Well, he's right into the wheel traps of PVG now, is McLean, and given the way things are going so far, he probably fancies it. He's got a big cushion over Colin Sanson there. He was running about 8 or 9 seconds behind. McLean won't want to try too much, but if there is a door which he wants to go through, he'll take it.
Yeah, I think you got to. Go and put your name up there, Darren. Go and do it, son. Put it up there and tell everybody that you're also in this fight. Go and get that victory overall. Join the short list of victory AM runners, because there isn't many. As long as I can be here over this period of time, there is not many AMs that have taken an overall. So can Darren McLean join the list of illustrious AM overall winners? However, he has got a very looming, very quick Jamie Ayres. I'm a little bit worried there as Ayres has closed in an absolute bunch and McLean has lost time around that last final section.
Seeing Hansford and Morton swapping places there, that looks like quite a nice battle to watch. Cullinan will be in this lot as well. You want to get through them very, very quickly here and start fighting it out with the pros. He's through on Hansford. Can he get through on Morton as well? Can he be brave round the outside? Ralph Cullinan through Panikill Bend. It looks like he's done it there. Nice overtaking, but he's gone out too deep onto the gravel. And that will allow Morton to get alongside, but Cullinan shuts the door. And he gets those 2 overtakes completed. Nicely done there by the Irishman.
Yep, job done from from Ralph Cullinan. McLean did lose that position. And I got a funny feeling he's got a ever looming Dan Hunt and he might end up losing in another one. So, yeah, Ollie Ricks and Darryl Wright, if you're back in YouTube chat, you two can have a nice little conversation there as well, as you were just talking before you decided it would be a good idea to come together there. I'm not entirely sure it was Darryl Wright's fault, let's be real. He is going backwards. I don't know regarding brake situation whether or not he was holding them. We'll have to have another look back a little bit. Right. As much as I want to curse Darren McLean for not putting up the fight there, Tom, I think that's the right thing to do. He's got 7-8 seconds to Colin Sanson in the AMs. He might as well just go and get the points, isn't he? Let them go.
Yeah, there's no point fighting it with Dan Hunt. I mean, that's not his race. I mean, his focus is just beating all the AM drivers. And you never know how the battle between PVG, Jamie Ayres and Dan Hunt's going to play out. If they come together, then Darren McLean will be back in the lead. This is what happened last week in Belgium. I can't remember which drivers it was. I think it was the Momo drivers between Ayres and Parfitt that came together at the bus stop chicane. Ooh. And that allowed Ollie Riggs to win the race for AM and overall.
Sorry, Sanson just got very, very close to Kellerman now. I didn't mean to ooh in your ear roll. But he did. Oh, Wilson, you can't do that, son. You're going to need to be a little bit more careful than that going into Druids and coming from the right to from the left to the right there, mate. Because I can tell you, if Kellerman was alongside you, one of you would have been doing lovely pirouettes, and I'm not quite sure which way that would have gone. But now we're going to have, I think we could end up with our first free wide of this race. There you go. Now, Ayres is going to keep trying. Van Gogh's going to have the inside. Hunt. What?
He's let them both go. Why has he done that? Why has PVG just allowed both Hunt and Ayres through at the same time like that? That really baffles me. I'm totally stunned by that, James, because PVG just basically lifted off because he's just... I've got to be careful with my choice of words, but that, it just seems a little bit...
Give up.
Yeah.
It looked like, to be honest, it's like my little dash arm when I tickle his belly. He rolls over. And it looks like that. Like PVG's just literally got his belly tickled from Hunt and Ayres, and he just rolled over. He had the inside line. He didn't go in at pace. He didn't do anything. I know he's had a bit of a rotten night, and maybe he's thinking I'm going to get points at least. But, you know, let's see some fireworks. You know what I mean? At the moment, I've only seen a sparkler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's not over yet, because if Ayres and Hunt start dicing it out, which is very much possible, then we've got another race on our hands. Maybe after all that PVG's just allowed them to go through because he knows that these two are going to be fighting it out. If they can come together, that may be his only hope of winning this race. If that's his only hope, then that's not really the standards of a top quality racing driver in my perspective, because most of the time you're not going to see incidents happening involving those ahead, because that's just not how motor racing works.
Yeah, I don't know. Put up a fight. Come on, Pete. You're not a retired boxer just yet going out for a final payday, mate. You're not a Mia Khan, you know what I mean? Come on. Go out with a bang, eh? Give it some. Let's see you do it as Wilson and Sanson are back together. This is for 5th and 6th on the road. Sanson again, it's not his fight, and to be honest, the way that Wilson's going to come at him over the next lap or so with Wilson's speed in the second half, I'd probably let Wilson go. It's just the same that Wilson couldn't quite wrap that speed up at the beginning of the race. He just seems
Someone's spun, James. Sorry to interrupt. Someone spun.
Darren McLean.
Yeah, he's spun and he's lost the AM lead as well.
Oh, grass. Oh no, he's going to spin that back end before he's even got there. Yep, grass. Oh, yeah, that's what you do, calling about an inch there of getting that wrong for Darren McLean. And now Sanson is going to take up the lead of the AMs there. Thanks, boys. Definitely not Darrell's fault at all. Have my fair share of luck. I know, Ollie, I just found it ironic that you two were talking in YouTube chat and then you go and career into each... Well, Darrell come across the track at you backwards there as well, let's be real. And then careers into... It was just quite ironic, mate. I've got to be honest on that one. Mate, it's probably a good job there weren't rain, Ollie, because otherwise yeah, well, I'm not quite sure how it would have gone. Sanson, McLean and Kellerman are together on the racetrack. So this is a battle for the AM lead here. Sanson's now off the side of the circuit. He's going to bring it. Kellerman gave him a lot of room there. That was very, very nice of you, Mr. Charles Kellerman, as he's now going to try and run around the outside here. Is he going to grab his second win of the evening, Charles Kellerman? Window wipes are blazing. I'm not even sure. It's not even raining. Round they go. Darren McLean's in there again. Kellerman's on the right-hand side. Sanson now loses that position. McLean's going to try it around the outside of Dingledale. Get it back on. There you go. Didn't work out around the outside for Darren McLean, and the other two can carry on. But now we've got Hunt, Ayres and Van Gogh, and they've got about 3 minutes 30 on the clock.
Yeah, so they've got time to do 2 more laps with the way they've been battling. So anything can happen between now and the end of the race, Dan Hunt's already picked up a victory this evening. Jamie Ayres, I don't think has picked up a victory, and PVG, well, he's not picked up a victory for a long time. And the fact he lost the lead the way he had done by just letting both Hunt and Ayres through, perhaps tells you everything about his season. It's not been exactly consistent compared to the likes of Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, and others.
Yeah, I just want to see him, for PVG's point of view, I just want to see him try and challenge for the win. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Sanson and Kellerman still together in the background. They're just coming down the hill. There is Sanson, there is Kellerman. McLean's going to have to go once more. Cullinan and Morton are together on the racetrack, as is Hansford and Siddons. So 2.5 minutes to go. There's going to be one more lap after this, Tom, and then we're on to the final lap for the three of them.
Well, the next lap is going to be the last one, so these three are going to be really going at it, hammer and tong. Jamie Wilson is way too far back to challenge, so he's going to be consigned to a 4th place finish, but the battle for AM is far from over. Charles Kellerman ahead of Colin Sanson. Charles Kellerman probably having the best evening for a while, actually. I don't think he's won more than once on the same night. So if he can wrap up another victory, that'll do his championship all the well of good. And making up for the absolute melodies he had in race 3, where he held up Ralph Cullinan when he was trying to get through on him and go after the top 2. I mean, Cullinan could have won that race had it not been for that.
Yeah. He could have, but he's just got to try now and recover something out of this. You know, he's sitting 5th in class. It's not horrendous, but these guys on to the final lap now. Is this going to be as they are, or do we still expect a little bit of Chinese fireworks?
Well, Jamie Ayres, we know how brave he can be. He's demonstrated that in the past, and he should get a really, really strong exit. He needs the strongest of exits, like we've seen from him this season. You could see Dan Hunt running wide there on the exit of Graham Hill and through the Cooper Straight, and now they're going up through Surtees for the last time. They are coming up through it, and no, it's a poor exit actually from Jamie Ayres, and that's going to give Pete VG a chance to just stay within the draft. Actually, the draft hasn't exactly been as effective as we've seen on other circuits, James.
Yeah, he's not going to challenge. He's not going to challenge PVG. He didn't look like he was going to a challenge. He didn't look like he was aggressive enough to a challenge. He looked like he was just going to sit behind Ayres, and I think that's where PVG is at the moment. I don't believe he's going to, unless some major drama, which there isn't, because Ayres has just kept it on the race circuit at one of the most difficult corners on this racetrack. Unless PVG takes a massive dive up the inside, I think it's going to be Hunt's victory, with Ayres in 2nd, with PVG in 3rd. I don't believe PVG is even going to look at it, and he hasn't, and it is going to be Dan Hunt. 2nd win of the evening for Dan Hunt. 4th podium out of 4. He has been on the podium all race, Dan Hunt. Oh, there's one more. No.
Yeah, they got over the line with 3 seconds to go. So we've got another lap to enjoy, folks. So I do apologise for predicting that, but that tells you about the nature of the circuit with the times and the fact it's a 15-minute race. So yeah, one more lap to enjoy, James. So you may have another take of the drivers going over the line.
I was all done. I wrote the names down on my little bit of notes and everything. I was all finished here this evening. But we've got one more to go. Come on, Pete. Put up a fight, son. You ain't in Van der Holyfield. You're not done just yet. Come on. See if he can do something here for PVG on this one. Ties, tell your uncle to get on with it. On that one, I think there's more chance of us having a battle down in the AMs at the moment with Charles Kellerman and Colin Sanson. Darren McLean's a 2nd back. He's back there. Ralph Cullinan is here as well. But I think Charles Kellerman might hold on here. I don't think Sampson's quite as strong through this 2nd half of the racetrack as Kellerman has been, and that will be 2 wins out of 2 for for Charles Kellerman there. The leaders come round the left-hander of Sterling's. Now this is it. PVG's on the grass. Here we go. This is definitely the final lap. This time around, under the Abban Bridge we go, and it looks like it's going to be down. It's going to be as it was on the last lap. Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, PVG, Hunt second win of the night, 4 podiums out of 4 for Dan Hunt. Great job coming over the line, wraps it up there as well. That's your 1, 2, 3 in your pros. Now what about the AMs? Has Charles Kellerman got his second win of the night? It looks like he has. It looks like he has. Kellerman Sampson with his second podium of the evening, and Darren McLean takes the 3rd spot there as well. So great job from McLean and Sampson getting them podiums this evening as well. Steve Hansford, Fiona Siddons, they're almost side by side. Siddons is coming down to the line. Is she going to get it first? It looks like it for Fiona Siddons. So great job from her. And the last one is my 71-year-old friend, Mr. Sir Alan Toon. He's going to come plodding over the line. Another great race in race 4.
Yeah, super race. Great battling between Hunt Ayres and PVG. I mean, it would have been nice for PVG to just get in the fight, get stuck in, and even if it goes wrong, at least you've given it a go. But I think he was more worried about losing points as opposed to just not finishing, because he's had too many races where he's been involved in incidents with other people and not actually finishing the race. So I think the priority for him was to make sure he actually got a finish, and a good one off that.
I reckon you, Tom Cairns, have just hit that 100% nail on the head. So let's get up the results here as well. And it is Dan Hunt, your winner, with Jamie Ayres and PVG. That's your 1, 2, 3 in your pros. Then you got Jamie Wilson rounding out the 4th place. Then you got the AMs of Kellerman, Sanson and McLean. 1, 2, 3 there as well in 5, 6 and 7. Ralph Cullinan in 8th. Then you got Roger Morton, Fiona Siddons, Steve Hansford, Sir Alan Toon. And then, of course, we saw what happened to Ollie Rick, Steve Hefford and Darryl Wright as they both came together there as well. Another great evening of four races. It doesn't matter if we have 25, if we have 15, we still get great racing.
Yeah, and great racing all round, and the battles in the wheel-to-wheel racing between all those, whether it's in Pro, or whether it's in AM, or a combination of the two. We saw some great racing here at Brands Hatch once again, and we look forward to do it next time out at Road Atlanta, James, as they go back to stateside.
Yeah, it should be another great evening. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined us tonight as well. Ties is in there, Darryl Wright, Phil as always, Summer Farmer States, or of course Fiona Siddons. Mystery is there. Thank you, Ollie Ricks, Darryl Wright. Thank you so much for guys coming in as well. But that's going to wrap it up for this evening. I think you can safely say it's been a great one there as well. Look out for all the action on the JPB YouTube channel coming up this week as well. But from myself, I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Tom Cairns, and as always, guys, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.